AITA for not getting my Scylla baby shower gift after she wouldn't take my handmade one. Due to financial challenges, I am currently broke right now. This coincided with my sister-in-law's baby shower. It's the first baby born to any of my siblings, so it's a big to-do. I had money set aside but had to use it to cover some unexpected expenses that came up with my car. By the time I got things sorted and got around to the registry, the smaller items were gone and all that was left were the big ticket ones of $100+, which honestly I can't afford. But I can knit pretty well and have a yarn stash, so in downtime between work and general life I knitted up a baby blanket for my new niece. I did pick up some smaller items too, pacifiers, some of those little texture books and whatnot. I was working a double the night of the shower, so I didn't get to go, so the weekend after I swung by my brother's place and gave the blanket and small items to them. My sister-in-law was peeved and gave me back the blanket for being the wrong color. It was a deep navy blue yarn and I guess it's a boy's color. Whatever. I was annoyed, but one of my friends had a baby recently, so I decided I'd give it to her. I left the smaller items and went home a little miffed, but whatever. Few days pass and my brother calls and says my sister-in-law is asking what I'm planning to get them so they can start planning the nursery layout. I was just sorta like WTF and pointed out that I had already given them my gift and his wife gave it back. Won't get into the whole convo, but basically they said I went off the registry, so they're still expecting something from me since I'm the uncle. Most of the small big ticket items are now gone, so I really honestly can't afford anything left on the registry. I asked about the smaller items I gave them and my brother said his wife said those didn't count. They asked for gifts off the registry, or I could make a blanket with the right colors. Told my brother that hell no, I wasn't making another blanket. Between work it took me almost a month to make that blanket, and I used up 90% of my infrequent downtime to make it. Mom says they're right. I'm not supposed to give them something off the registry, and as immediate family I should buy them something they asked for. Dad's stance is, why are you as a grown-ass man knitting, and sister-in-law is giving me the cold shoulder. Brother is Idic at this point. Says he's sorry but asking me to give in just to make it go away. I don't have any clue how any of this baby shower stuff works, so AITA. Story 2. AITA for refusing to help my brother and telling him he should have expected to lose his children. My brother is going through a nasty custody battle, and it looks like he's going to lose his children. This all started because my brother decided to have an affair. Continued seeing the other woman after his wife found out, and moved with his 2 children once his wife had a mental breakdown. My sister-in-law didn't want her family to get involved until he took the kids, but now my brother is realizing he fucked up, as my sister-in-law's dad and brother are using their money and connections to destroy him in court. I've tried not to involve myself, but all my family want to talk about is the custody cases. Everybody is worried we won't be allowed to see the kids if my brother loses. I have a casual sexual relationship with my sister-in-law's brother, and my sister suggested I should use that to look through his phone house to see if there's anything that could help my brother's case. Everybody was on board with the idea, but I refused to do it. I told them he would catch me, but they still want me to try. I ended up having an argument with my brother because he said I didn't care about how he was going to lose his children. I was upset, so I told him he should have expected to lose them because he knew who her family were before he decided to fuck everything up. AITA. Story 3. AITA for calling my stepson a loser and telling my wife if I had it my way he'd be out of the house. First-time user. I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm not too familiar with Reddit or social media. I am sorry if I format this wrong. I've been married to my wife since the fall of 2019. I have 2 boys with my ex-wife, both successful, in their late 22s, and married. One has a kid on the way. My wife has 1 son. He's 20 and lives with us. He and my wife moved in with me after we got married. I have the room because I was alone in the house. I have never really seen eye to eye with Kevin. I love sports. My boys excelled at baseball and football in high school and some college. Kevin is the type that can't be bothered with sports, which is okay, but it means one less thing we can bond over. He's never really seen me as a father figure, and I never really saw him as a son, but I provide for him since he lives with us. Kevin flunked out of college after his first year and has now been fired. Quit from his 4th job since. This conversation happened after he was fired again, but I will provide backstory first. First job, Target. He quit because his boss yelled at him. I asked why. Because Kevin was late. Kevin sarcastically said Target didn't lose any money for him being 20 minutes late. Second job, Starbucks. They wanted him to work some morning shifts. Kevin refuses to wake up before 11 a.m., so he quit. Third job, a local grocery store. He was fired under the suspicion he was stoned. I believe it. Kid smokes like a chimney. It's not my place to tell him to stop though. Fourth job, a friend of mine hired him on his landscaping crew. He was fired because he was no call, no showing. I was embarrassed because I knew the guy. Apparently Kevin had a problem with being on his phone. When the boss corrected him, Kevin said he has no right to tell him what to do with his property. After this, I refused to acknowledge Kevin much. Kevin was talking with his mom, but goes soft on Kevin IMO. She was doing her usual "it's okay sweetie" routine and my blood boiled. I yelled, "No, it's not okay. He's a fucking loser." I'll admit I raised my voice. Then I said, "Kevin, you're lucky I love your mother with all my heart. Because if it was up to me, you'd be out of this house." My wife snapped at me, and I responded that Kevin is 20 and needs to start finding a direction in life. He flunked out of college and can't hold a job that 15-year-olds are able to do. I suggested he go spend 2 weeks living with my son, and he would whoop his ass into shape. Kevin cried, told me that the worst day of his life was when his mom married me. My wife got very upset with me, which is fair. I flew off the handle, but IMO, he has been babied, and that's why he acts this way. I think he needed someone to give it to him straight. He even started applying for jobs again after this, so I think my yelling worked. Wife is still angry and wants me to apologize. Story 4. AITA for warning that my friend that the girl he's seeing is a cam girl. I have this one friend, Jessica. She's a great friend and I'm glad to have her in my life. Jessica is a sex worker. Specifically, she is a cam girl. Now, of course, I have never seen any of her streams as that'd be weird, but she has told me that when she started, she was doing cam sessions with her ex-boyfriend but started doing solo shows after they broke up. I am in full support of sex workers and do not think any less of Jessica despite what she does. Jessica recently started seeing Mike. Mike and I used to work together and are still friendly. Apparently they met on Tinder. This surprised me as Mike is a kinda conservative guy. I didn't want to be nosy, but I talked to Jessica about it and offhand mentioned that he seems like the type of guy who wouldn't be down with dating a woman like Jessica. She then told me that she hadn't told him yet and was waiting until things were a little more serious. I thought this was ill-advised. If I was dating a girl and I found out was pay-per-view weeks and instead of like date 2, I'd be mad and felt led on. I said that maybe she should consider letting him know soon to spare them both possible heartbreak. She said no. Next time I saw Mike, I was talking to him about Jess, and I felt like I should say something. She's keeping a massive secret that she thought could have been a deal breaker from him. That's wrong, and I felt like this was one of the rare occasions it was okay to step into someone else's relationship. I told him and he wasn't happy. Apparently he almost immediately ended things with Jess, and she blamed me. All of our other friends said I was being a dick and need to apologize. I feel like it was protecting Mike. Akita.